Good afternoon from me, Meilir Emrys, and welcome to Dragon Park National Football Development Centre in Newport, where last Saturday afternoon, Cymru were the width of a crossbar away from qualifying for this summer's UEFA European Under-17 Championship Finals. Craig Knight's young Welsh side have a second opportunity to book their place in Hungary this afternoon. A victory against a Montenegrin team who have only taken a solitary point from their first two elite round games would be enough to ensure that Cymru finish on top of Group 2. A draw could also suffice, and there's even a scenario where Cymru could lose this game and still qualify as group winners. Needless to say, however, if Cymru don't secure a win, things could become pretty complicated. I have my abacus with me just in case, but let's hope that it doesn't get to that. We'll start, first of all, with the anthems. Oi Svietla, Mais Kasoro, O Bright Dawn of May, the Montenegrin national anthem, followed by Hen Wlad van Hada. Here are the teams. Plymouth Argyle's Freddie Zaka comes into the Welsh starting 11, having entered the fray as a substitute in both previous games. Alongside him, the highly rated Gabriele Biancheri also returns to the forward line. He scored Cymru's second goal as they defeated Scotland at Rodney Parade last Wednesday. Rhys Thomas and Joe Andrews also returned to the starting lineup. Having been introduced as a late substitute, it was Andrews who hit the Iceland crossbar with the last kick of the game on Saturday. Goran Perisic has kept faith with 8 of the players who started against Scotland on Saturday for Montenegro. Cymru will surely be happy to see that 6'4" goal threat Marko Tadic only makes the bench this afternoon, but we may well see him later on, of course. He's the top scorer in the Montenegro Under-17 squad with 4 goals. The Montenegrin team having a quick photo taken before we get underway. Cymru captain Charlie Crew chatting away with the referee. He's Bulgaria's Radoslav Gidzenov, 31 years old. He's shown exactly 50 cards in the 11 matches he's refereed in Bulgaria's top tier, the FBet League this season. 3 of those cards have been red. He also showed a straight red card to Bodin Tomasevic in Montenegro's defeat to Scotland on Saturday, the only previous match he's officiated in this group. But Mr. Gidzenov is obviously happy to go to his pocket when necessary. Also showed 4 yellow cards on Saturday, in keeping with his season average in the Bulgarian league. So, as I mentioned at the top of the programme, a win for Cymru this afternoon, and it's all very straightforward. They will finish on top of the group and qualify directly to this summer's finals in Hungary. If Cymru draw, they will still finish top of the group. If the other game this afternoon between Scotland and Iceland also finishes in a draw, or if Iceland win that game by no more than 2 goals and don't outscore Cymru by more than 4 goals this afternoon. Hope you got all that. As I said, it could become a bit complicated. Let's hope it doesn't. We'll keep you informed with the score from the other game between Scotland and Iceland. That's taking place over in Leckwith this afternoon. Cymru in white, and immediately coming forward, attacking from right to left in this first half. Despite being bottom of the group at the beginning of this afternoon, Montenegro could still qualify. There's an outside chance for them to do that. They can't finish better than second in this group, and they have to win this game to have any hope of qualifying, and even then the slim hopes of qualification will depend on the results in Cardiff and numerous other results around Europe this afternoon. There are 8 groups in all in this second, or elite, qualifying round. Kit Margetson put under some pressure there, but he did well. The winners of those 8 groups will qualify for the finals in Hungary in May. And 7 out of the 8 best runners-up will also qualify. So there's going to be 1 unlucky runner-up who won't make it to Hungary. We won't know who that'll be until this evening. Montenegro looking to come forward. They've lost possession for a moment at least. Here they come again. The ball into the Cymru penalty area. No problem at all for Kit Margetson. Joe Andrews of Southampton hits the ball forward. It's Gabriele Biancheri, who's just signed for Manchester United, who was on the charge until he was stopped by Milos Vracar. Joe Andrews fell. Fair to say he was looking for that free kick, but Mr. Gidzenov was happy to oblige. An early opportunity for the Cymru set piece in a promising position. It's Louis Giles and Charlie Crew who are around the ball in white. Charlie Crew really grew into the game on Saturday afternoon against Iceland. The Cymru captain, now with Leeds United. Crew leaves it for Giles, who swings it in towards the far post. Didn't quite work out as intended. Another chance now maybe for Cymru. Perret gets the ball out wide to Izaka. Freddie Izaka of Plymouth Argyle. He's made quite an impact, having come on as a substitute in both the previous games. He scored Cymru's 4th goal against Scotland. He came close as well to securing a winner when he came off the bench against Iceland late on Saturday. Dan Cox gets the ball forward. Perret again. It's Rhys Thomas of Manchester City who's outside him this time. A low cross by Thomas. The ball hit back to him. And having pinballed around, the ball goes behind for the first corner of the game for the home team. Rhys Thomas could be a real threat down that right flank this afternoon. The young man from Llanrwst. First corner of the game. Looks like it's going to be an in-swinger. It is. Towards the front post, and it bounced on. There might have been a chance there for Dan Cox to go for a shot, but he turned it down. And now Montenegro look to break, despite being a man short at the moment. They got a man down. Glenn Lawler got the ball out to Biancheri. It's a real threat in that Cymru front line this afternoon. Saka, Biancheri and Swansea's Iwan Morgan all scored in that victory over Scotland last week. For the most part, it's a very impressive Cymru performance. They were cruising at 3-0 up, and then they had a funny 5 minutes where Scotland got right back into it. But in the end, Freddie Saka's goal made it safe. Perret. His ball forward's blocked, but it's come to Izaka. Saka did well to retain possession. Gets it forward to Joe Andrews. Andrews falls. And it was just outside the area. Here it is again. Nice little flick on by Freddie Izaka. It was very, very close. I think the referee got it right. But you can see from where Cymru put the ball down how close that foul was to being on the line. Had it been on the line, it would have been a penalty. Just a free kick for Cymru then. Giles and Crew. Again around the ball, directing traffic. Charlie Crew hit it in low, trying to catch the defence out. Got under the wall. The ball turned behind for another corner. Here's Thomas. Knocks the ball back to Kit Markinson. Miss hit by Perret. Hands Montenegro an opportunity. And had that through ball been a bit more precise, Cymru could have been in trouble. It was Vasile Atsic who hits it forward. There he is, the Montenegrin number 10. standing on the edge of the Cymru penalty area. High press from the visitors, trying to prevent Cymru from playing the ball out the back. Having got the ball as far as the halfway line, Cymru then conspired to lose possession. Free kick for Montenegro, taken quickly. This is the captain, Vracha. It's it out to Kamaj. He wins the corner. Despite being bottom of the group, Montenegro were actually ranked higher than Cymru for the draw for this second or elite qualifying round. They won their initial qualifying group, so they definitely are a threat. And they have a corner here, swung in towards the front post. It's gone out for a goal kick. Kit Margetson seemed to have it covered. Just did the side netting. Coming up to 10 minutes gone, the Newport. 0-0 between Cymru under-17 and Montenegro. It's also goalless in the other game. Lovely piece of skill by Iwan Morgan into the penalty area. And the shot blocked. Still there. Charlie Crew, the captain, saw his name up in lights and miss-hit his shot. Great work by Iwan Morgan there, though. Nutmegged the first defender and managed to get his cross in. Initial shot was blocked. Charlie Crew, to be honest, should have done better. Initial short ball out from the back by the goalkeeper. Then it was hit forward as Montenegro nearly played themselves into trouble. Andrews. Saka's waiting for it. Here is Freddy Zaka! And his shot right across the face of goal. A real escape for Montenegro. It wasn't the easiest of angles for Freddy Zaka, but he probably should have done better. Good few moments there for Cymru, though. That was well read by Dan Cox. Here's Thomas under some pressure on the far touchline, and he did well. But then Cymru gave the ball away very cheaply. And again, it was Biancheri this time. Gifted possession back to Montenegro. He did well to make up for his mistake, though. Here's that Freddy Zaka chance again. Iwan Morgan set him up. And Isaka couldn't quite get a shot that he would have wanted. Here's Thomas to take the throw. He's come back into the team this afternoon, having missed the game against Iceland. He's had a great game for the Cymru under-16s against Brazil in Denby last year. Very, very good going forward is Rhys Thomas. Charlie Crew did well there to win the ball. Very composed in defence. Montenegro steal the ball with Bulazovic. Ball spread out to the side of the field. It's Marash with the cross. easy for the Cymru goalkeeper, though. Oh, that's the slip by his Thomas. Luckily for him, Montenegro were caught in two minds. Lawler, long kick down the ground, relieving the pressure for a moment at least. There's another red wave coming towards the Cymru penalty area. Vracha, the captain. Short pass in. It's Biancheri, who's back, helping with the defensive duties, battling his way forward, relieving the pressure. And it's a Cymru throw on halfway. Good little period that for the visitors, without really testing Kit Margetson. Might have another chance now. Might have heard the shout there from the Cymru dugout. Craig Knight telling his players to keep hold of the ball. Don't try to be clever. Possession is the priority. And it's Montenegro who have possession now. Here's Thomas getting his foot in. Like Cymru, Montenegro have never qualified for the finals of the continental tournament in this age group. 14 previous attempts since Montenegro became an independent nation in 2006. But as it stands, that's not going to change today, especially now with that kind of shot by their captain, Milos Vracha. For a little over a quarter of an hour, Cymru remain top of the group. Montenegro remain at the bottom. All that could change, of course, likely to change. In all honesty, there's a long, long way to go this afternoon, both here in Newport and in the game in Cardiff. Perret brings the ball down and turns in the centre circle. Couldn't find Zaka though. Freddy Zaka concedes a free kick for wrestling with Lazar Marash. Milovic started all three games between the sticks in this mini group for Montenegro. He plays for the Zavina Stiena club, currently on loan there from Com Podgorica. Stilena actually translates as Red Rock, so he plays for Red Rock FC. Perret gets the ball out wide. Hopeful ball forward over the Cymru defensive line. Dan Cox touching the ball back to Margetson. Gave it back to him again. Don't think Kit Margerton was ready or anticipating that second pass, but no problems. Direct ball forward this time. And it is going to be a free kick for Cymru. Foul was on Iwan Morgan, even though it's the Montenegrin player who's come out of it worst. It's Bojan Damjanovic, who was on his back on the ground. Long ball forward there. I think there may have been something of a clash of heads. But Damjanovic is back on his feet now. Kick over the wall! And always curling away wide. Same duo as usual around the ball for Cymru. Charlie Crew left it for Louis Giles. It's actually something of a set-piece specialist as Louis Giles scored a vital free kick for Cymru to secure a draw late on against Sweden in the first qualifying round. Here he is again. Slight defensive error there. And Montenegro gets away with it. Iwan Morgan goes back to Dan Cox. Cox with a crossfield ball. Marash let it go. Ball out for the throw-in. If you look at the UEFA coefficient, how UEFA rank their teams, both these sides have a very similar coefficient score. Cymru are actually ranked 35, or 36 rather, with Montenegro ranked 35. And it has been a pretty even start here, so maybe that's not surprising. Peret. Out it is Thomas. Back to Peret. Peret tried to find the full-back again. Couldn't quite do so. Lazar Marash will take the throw. He's one of 8 Budućnost players in the Montenegro squad. Margerton took a touch. Calmest man in Dragon Park. Montenegro came forward again, lovely little flick, didn't quite work out. Of course, the advantage of having a large number of players from the same club in the squad is that they all know each other. Much easier then for the squad to gel when they meet up. But as we reach halfway through the first half, neither side yet really have got going. Both teams struggling to hang on to possession, but there's a chance here for Montenegro, and the captain hits it across! And I think there was an offside in the end, but the ball hit Kit Margerton, and it nearly snuck in It was Vracar, the Montenegrin captain, who hit the ball across. We'll see it again here. There's a slip, or a miscontrol rather, by Charlie Crew. And in the end, he wouldn't have counted anyway. But once again, Montenegro showing that they do have a threat. And while there is still a chance that they could qualify, well, they're obviously going to go for it. It's Dylan Lawler, who's down at the moment, receiving treatment. He collided with the post, sliding in there. Mentioned at the start that Goran Perisic, the Montenegro manager, has kept faith in 8 of the players who started against Scotland on Saturday. One change that they have had to make after that game: Bodin Tomasevic is unavailable today, having been sent off in that game. I'm sure Cymru fans of a certain vintage will be glad that a player called Bodin isn't here for this vital qualifier. Do realise I'm being a bit harsh on the original Bodin there. Paul Bodin was a great servant for the senior Cymru team back in the early 90s. People tend to forget that because of that fateful penalty against Romania in 1993. More recently, of course, Paul Bodin has also been the manager of Cymru under 21. Play resumes. Dylan Lawler back on his feet. Cymru down to 10 men for the moment. Dan Cox concedes possession. The ball pulled back and the shot was on target. Shot hit well. It was Andrej Kamaj who hit it. Scored against Poland in the initial qualifying round. It was too hot for Kit Margerson to hold on to on the first attempt. Fortunately for the Cymru goalie, ball fell right by where he was on the ground. He was able to gather at the second attempt. But again, a warning for Cymru if they need one. Now then, ball on the other side of the pitch. The cross, partially cleared. Indeed, fully cleared on the second attempt. Dan Cox goes back to Kit Margerson. Goalkeeper in the sweeper's position. Ball just about found Giles. Came back to Louis Giles as well. Cymru retaining possession. Charlie Crew, no real pressure on him. Decides to go back to Louis Giles. Here's Thomas on the halfway line. Finds Dan Cox. Louis Giles of Cardiff City. Patient play by Cymru. We saw a lot of this, especially in the first game against Scotland. Cymru happy to pass the ball about along the back line, letting the play develop naturally. Isaka retained possession after his first pass was blocked. Couldn't quite find Iwan Morgan. Ognjen Milovic did well. The Montenegrin goalkeeper to stay down. And looks in some discomfort, holding his right knee. That's never nice to see, of course. Iwan Morgan, in fairness, we'll see it again here. I think he realised that he wasn't quite going to get there and actually jumped over the goalkeeper. I think it might have been the Montenegrin defender who collided with the goalkeeper. So another break in play. And all in all, has been something of a messy start-stop first half an hour. Montenegro will probably come closest to scoring so far. Getting the only real shot on target a few minutes ago. Earlier on, Freddy Zaka. And that shot across the face of goal for Cymru, of course. But as we approach the half-an-hour mark, it remains 0-0. Charlie Crew. It's the ball forward on his left foot. That's too strong for Iwan Morgan. Don't need to remind you that this game here is the appetizer on another big day of football on Scorio. The main course tonight, live from the Cardiff City Stadium. The senior men Cymru team trying to build on that fantastic result in Split over the weekend. Don't think anyone expected this new look Cymru squad to come home from Croatia with a point, but they did. One of the most beautiful smash and grabs I've ever seen. Nathan Broadhead with a Cymru goal. Who would have thought? Freddy Zaka here towards the near post! And neither Biancheri or Morgan could get a decisive touch on it. Freddy Zaka chipped the ball in towards the near post. It was just beyond Biancheri. I think Iwan Morgan had to hesitate for a second to see if the United player could get a foot on it. And by the time he'd done that, it was too late. The ball was past him as well. Margetson once again in the D at the edge of his penalty area. Here he is again. Cymru changing direction. And then changing back again. Tall figure of his Thomas on the far side. Something of a hopeful ball forward. And all it did was give possession to Montenegro. Ball now in the Cymru penalty area. The Montenegrin captain couldn't keep it in play. Kamai just stopped for a second. And by the time he'd done that, there were 3 Cymru men around him. And Milos Vracha on the charge. Couldn't quite control the ball. Once again, Montenegro setting up in a way that's going to make it difficult for Cymru to play out from the back. But Cymru managed it well there. The ball forward now to Peret. Peret turns, chips it over the defence to Iwan Morgan. Iwan Morgan took a touch. And his shot was deflected, and that took all the power out of it. But that was a nice flowing move from Cymru. Played the ball well out of the back. And that chip over the top worked so well against Scotland last week. And why not try it again? Nearly worked there. Seems Cymru finally settling down, maybe. Balazovic. Brachard. Here's attempted ball forward. Too strong. Ball skipped into the arms of Kit Margetson. Cymru stealing the ball back and winning a free kick. Much to Lazar Marash's frustration. Actually, it's Marko Perovic who was back there. And Perovic is the first player to see a yellow card this afternoon. As I mentioned right at the start, Mr. Gidzenov, the referee, pretty happy to go to his pocket if he feels that's necessary. It's taken him 35 minutes to do so this afternoon. But more than the yellow card, there's a free kick here for Cymru. In a promising position, just outside the Montenegro penalty area on the far side. Little touch by Charlie Crew. And a shot from distance hits the bar. Montenegro get it clear. But that Cymru duo of Charlie Crew and Louis Giles trying something different. And Louis Giles nearly made it count. The ball off the bar. He hit it well, the fullback. Dylan Lawler gets it forward to Joe Andrews. Joe Andrews of Southampton into the area. 2 or 3 men around him. And Andrews fell. It definitely wasn't a penalty. Giles. Heavy first touch this time by the fullback. Dan Cox doing well. Under pressure from Marko Perovic. Biancheri in the centre circle, spreads it out wide. Ball forward to Iwan Morgan. 3 Cymru men in the middle. Morgan couldn't get his cross in. And when the ball was hit across, it's cleared away. But here come Cymru again. Dan Cox. It's pass just about finds Louis Giles. Cox out to Zaka. Zaka cuts inside, chips the ball into the area, and the header past the post. You see Iwan Morgan, who rose, got his head to it. And in the last few minutes, Cymru are really starting to turn the screw. This was the shot that hit the bar, swung in. Goalkeeper in no man's land, much to his relief. The ball hit the frame of the goal. Games in this elite qualifying round taking place all across Europe this afternoon and this evening. Now then, a shot from distance. Might have taken a slight deflection. Kit Margerson might also have got his fingertips to it. And it is going to be a corner. Again, Kamai was the danger man. Hit that really well. Scored against Poland in the first qualifying round. So he knows where the net is. Second corner for Montenegro. Headed out. And a second time, but here's Thomas. Surely there's a handball there by the Montenegrin. Here's Kamai again. Crosses in this time, and the shot into the side netting. It was Atsic who hit it. Another player who scored in that first qualifying round. Montenegro topped the group, which also included Poland, Austria and Andorra. And having beaten Poland and Austria, surprisingly, they only managed to draw with Andorra in their last game. A goal by Stefan Djukanovic, who's on the bench today, in the 7th minute of injury time to secure a draw against Little Andorra. And the referee for that game was actually Wales's Tom Owen, who's a familiar face in the Cymru Premier. That tournament was held in Poland back in October. The only goal Montenegro conceded in 3 games was to Gerard Gassiasune of Andorra. And they haven't conceded in the first 40 minutes here this afternoon either. Now then, Isaka, good little touch. And he kept the ball in play. And it pinballed around. Joe Andrews goes down. And goalie back on his feet very quickly, waving his finger, claiming his innocence. Ognjen Milosevic. See it again. Oh, he did get to the ball, the goalkeeper, in fairness. But it is going to be a corner for Cymru. Towards the far post this time. Shot back in by Perret. And again by Louis Giles. Well, that was always rising. No real pressure on the defender to get the ball clear. And neither effort from outside the area, troubling the goalkeeper. Ognjen Milovic trying to find a ball at the moment. Now he's got one. Signals to his players that this one is going down the field. Milovic, he's been 17 years old since the 14th of March. Both goalkeepers in the Montenegro squad were actually born on exactly the same day. Ivan Bozinovic, who's on the bench, also born on the 14th of March 2006. All the players in this tournament born on or after the 1st of January 2006. So they're not all strictly under 17. They all were when the tournament began, the first qualifying round back in October. New free kick for Cymru. Here's Thomas, takes it quickly. Crew across to Giles. Giles gets his head up, lifts the ball beyond everyone. They throw in for Montenegro. Down by the corner flag. on the other side of the pitch as we look at it. Marash with a throw down the line. Perez gets his head to it. And now it's fallen to Biancheri. Biancheri checks, looking for support. Battling away down there. And eventually conceding a free kick. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, Ely. The kick went Bulatovic's way. Perovic hitting the ball forward. Get up, says the referee. After the head of Perovic, Marco fell just outside the area. No interest at all by Mr. Gidzenov in that fall there. You'll see it again now. Marko Perovic, one of two Perovic's in the Montenegrin front line. Marco fell, and the referee very quickly said no. We're in the last minute of the first half. For the most part, it's been pretty tight here at Dragon Park. It remains 0-0. Both sides have had their chances. Cymru have hit the bar through Louis Giles. But it remains goalless as we go into injury time. Of which there will be 4 minutes. There have been a couple of stoppages with various players needing treatment during this first half. Ball into the Cymru penalty area. They very quickly ran out of play for a goal kick. Here's Thomas. Not the best ball down the wing, conceding possession. And now then there's a chance for Montenegro. Margaretson makes a save, but the rebound is dispatched into the top corner. And in first half injury time, Montenegro have gone ahead through Vasily Adzic. Kit Margaretson made the initial save, but not for the first time during this first half. He wasn't able to hold on to it. And the midfielder Adzic absolutely smashed the rebound home. Cymru just falling asleep for a second. Adzic with a strike. Montenegro are ahead. And Cymru have work to do. Charlie Crew onto Iwan Morgan. Morgan cuts inside. Cymru looking for a swift response. Shot blocked. Fell to Biancheri. Biancheri looking for support. Louis Giles is there. Giles inside. Iwan Morgan couldn't control it. Montenegro now on the break. Long, hopeful ball forward. Adzic again. It's 2-0. 2 goals in a minute for Vasily Adzic. And that could leave Cymru's dreams of qualifications in tatters. It remains goalless in the other game. And as it stands now, 3 teams would finish on 4 points in this group. And with that second goal for Montenegro, they would now go above Cymru. 2 goals in a minute in first half injury time. And the complexion of this game has totally changed. A long ball forward over the Cymru defence, finding Adzic. And he made no mistake, having smashed his first goal home. He neatly slotted that one in past Kit Margetson. Louis Giles down the channel. Cymru will have a throw in. Iwan Morgan wants to get on with it in the dying embers of this first half. Is there time for one last Cymru attack before the break? Iwan Morgan, 2 men on him, tries to go between them. And Montenegro's stolen the ball, and as it hits down the field, Mr. Gidzenov of Bulgaria brings the first 45 minutes to a close. And Cymru have been shell-shocked. They seem to have been growing into the game as that first half went by. But in injury time, 2 quick-fire strikes by Vasile Adzic, putting Montenegro in control here. As you see there on the screen, the score at half-time in Dragon Park, Newport. It's not good reading for Cymru fans. Cymru under 17 0, Montenegro under 17 2. We'll be back in a quarter an hour or so with the second half. Welcome back to Dragon Park for the second half of Cymru under 17 against Montenegro under 17. Home side trailing by 2 goals at the half. There'll be no changes to the teams during the break. Cymru will be looking to change the scoreline very quickly. Iwan Morgan gives the ball back to Andrews. Louis Giles pirouetting on the far touchline. Throw in going Montenegro's way. So it's 2-0 here. It was 0-0 at half-time in the other game in this group between Scotland and Iceland over in Leckwith. That means, as it stands, there are 3 teams in this group equal on 4 points. Montenegro, Cymru and Scotland. I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that probably the least likely scenario this afternoon was that Montenegro would qualify directly for the finals. But if my calculations are correct, they actually currently top the group. Head-to-head results between the teams involved in the tie take precedent. And if you look at that, Montenegro currently have a goal difference of +1 and 4 points. Cymru are in second with an equal goal difference. And then just a further goal behind them, Scotland are in third. 7 out of 8 teams who finish second in this elite qualifying round will make the finals. But with 4 points, it really would be touch and go for Wales. And we wouldn't know officially until tonight if Cymru would qualify or not. A goal now would change everything, though. First corner of the second half for Cymru. It's a deep one. There's going to be another corner for Cymru. Ognjen Milovic in the Montenegro goal. Watch that ball all the way. I was glad to see it fall on the roof of the net. But another Cymru corner, the 5th of the afternoon. Short one this time. Izaka. It's come to Charlie Crew. Back to Izaka. Izaka with a low cross. Charlie Crew again. He had a big second half against Iceland on Saturday. Cymru need him to do that again today. Cymru captain showing some early frustration at the beginning of the second half as that ball rolled past him and out for a goal kick. Louis Giles intercepting the ball, but then a loose pass by him. Cymru's passing just hasn't been good enough all afternoon. And Montenegro generally haven't been much better in possession, as we saw there. This is Freddy Izaka. Tried to turn inside. Perret with a wild ball. Nearly fell for Iwan Morgan. Andrews trying to charge forward. Charlie Crew now finds Iwan Morgan. Iwan Morgan with a touch on the shot! And Cymru are back in it! The perfect start to the second half for the hosts. And it's that man, Iwan Morgan. 2 huge goals for him on his debut a week ago against Scotland. And that goal could be even more important. Took a touch, kept his composure, and slid the ball in past Ognjen Milovic. It's now Cymru 1, Montenegro 2. Lazar Marash, the Montenegro fullback, has been booked following that goal. I assume it's for something that he said, spoken out of turn. Well, that could be a huge goal. Because now with a 1-goal deficit, things really do get more and more complicated. But in the mini-group, if you like, between Cymru, Montenegro and Scotland, Cymru's goal difference has now gone back to +1. And that means they move above Montenegro to the top of the group as it stands. What a difference that goal can make. Again, you suspect there's a long, long way to go. It's going to be a tough afternoon of mental arithmetic for people like me, that's for sure. A second goal for Cymru would make things a bit more clear-cut. Charlie Crew. Joe Andrews to Perret. Perret attempted through ball a bit too strong. But suddenly, from looking really, really frustrated at the beginning of the second half, Cymru have got their tails up. Amazing the difference a goal can make. But they are still behind here, of course. Nearly stole the ball there, though. And the Montenegrin defence under some pressure for a moment. They're looking to break now with Vracar, the captain. His ball forward, deflected, and eventually he's gone out for a throw-in for Cymru. Dan Cox confidently carrying the ball out of defence. Dylan Lawler's ball forward. Comes back to him. Here's Thomas. Saka battling for the ball. And after thinking about it for a second or so, the referee decided that it was a foul. It was a high foot by Xhaka. Looked like he got the ball on first viewing, or maybe he didn't. In fact, maybe Freddie Xhaka's a bit lucky there that he's escaped without a yellow card. Dan Cox, strong, stealing the ball. Biancheri's attempted pass forward, blocked though. Dylan Lawler to Dylan Cox. Dan Cox, rather. My apologies. Lawler again. Perret out to Freddie Xhaka. Xhaka taking his time. You know, the return ball. Trying to play it into Perret's path. Just not quite accurate enough. That has been the problem generally. Ball had crossed the line. Go in for Cymru. It's not just the home team who are struggling with their passing. Isaka very much to the fore early in the second half. Ball forward. Falls to Perret. Perret on to Joe Andrews. Andrews turns, gives it back to Perret. Isaka again takes a step back. Then cuts inside. Biancheri! A shot well hit. But the goalie got his hands to it and denied Cymru an equaliser. Lovely ball across the area there by Saka with the outside of his foot. Now the United starlet caught his shot well. Ball out for a corner. Montenegro trying to break. Perret goes back to his goalkeeper. Andrews finding Iwan Morgan. Biancheri with a back heel onto Saka. Isaka with a wild swipe at it, really. It's neither a cross or a shot. Slight rush of blood there, maybe, by Saka. Montenegro initially playing the ball short as Cymru tried to pin them in. The ball chipped forward. Montenegro retaining possession. This is Adsic, scorer of both Montenegrin goals. Adsic is actually one of the few players in the Montenegro squad who has first team experience. Made his debut in the Montenegrin First League for Bucharest last August, scoring on his debut. Lovely long-range chip and a 4-0 win against Arsenal Tivat. And he has played relatively regularly in the Bucharest team since then. Now then, Andrews took a touch and a shot, took a deflection, could have gone anywhere. Ended up going behind for a corner. Deep corner again, which resulted in another chance to swing it in, but from the other side this time. So Louis Giles will leave it to the right foot of captain Charlie Crew. Referee wants a word before the kick is taken. It's a bit of pushing and shoving around the penalty spot, not much really. But Radoslav Gidzenov of Bulgaria wants both teams just to bring it down a notch or two. Here comes the corner. Charlie Crew, not his best, but he'll get another chance. Short corner this time. Chipped into the area somewhat aimlessly. Defender could have left it for his goalkeeper. Cleared eventually as far as sees Thomas on the halfway line. Lovely ball forward by Thomas. Finding Charlie Crew. Crew into the penalty area. A well-timed sliding tackle, stopping him from getting his cross in. Adstich. There are men in red in front of him. But he couldn't get it forward, and it's a throw-in for Cymru. Well, Adstich is complaining. Cymru have got on with it. Crew. Tried to chip it over the defence. And then committed a foul. Heard Vasily Adstich scream, who actually wasn't him. He was Andrea Bulatovic. And he was caught in his back. Didn't look that bad on the replay. And Mr. Bulatovic has made an amazing recovery. He's back on his feet. Didn't need any treatment. All he needed to feel better was a free kick, which he got. Now then, Montenegro, having been under the cosh for the past few minutes, trying to get forward. Half an hour to go in Newport. As it stands, Cymru are on top of the group, despite being behind here. But I can't emphasise enough how quickly that could change. So, in that mad minute at the end of the first period, how quickly the standings changed. 2 quick-fire goals by Vasily Adstich, putting Montenegro in control. Long ball here. Iwan Morgan let it bounce. His goal. After 3 minutes of the second half, changing everything again in Cymru's favour. Fracha gets the ball forward. He's continued his run, the Montenegrin captain. It's not needed for now. It's a deep cross. Marko Perovic slipped. But it is going to be a throw-in for Montenegro. Adstich. Shot blocked this time. It is again on the hat-trick. The Montenegrin number 10. Louis Giles got in the way this time. Not the best chip clearance by him. Isaka back, helping with the defence. Ball flicked on. Dan Cox under a little pressure. Danced one way, then the other, and won a free kick. Did well, Dan Cox. He's looked so composed in the main this afternoon. And the ball did get to Freddy Isaka eventually, not as intended. Come on, Lawler. Thought about going one way, then went the other. Finds Iwan Morgan. Morgan battling on. Wins the throw-in. Manchester City's Thomas with a throw. He gets the ball back. Perret. Keeping the ball alive. Thomas again with the little ball through to Iwan Morgan. Iwan Morgan. His cross was blocked, but then an error by the Montenegrin defender, giving the ball back to Cymru for just a moment. Here's Thomas battling for it. And it wasn't a foul. But in the end, it's going to be a goal kick. Chance for Montenegro to relieve the pressure. Milovic with a kick. Hadzic. Got his head to it. But Cymru have the ball now. Andrews' touch. Finds Biancheri. Charlie Crew. Try to free Louis Giles. And Giles battled and stole the ball back. Biancheri turns and shoots. Blocked by the defender. Perret. Out to Giles. Giles again finding Biancheri. Biancheri with a heavy touch as he tried to control it this time. Andrews beats his man. Joe Andrews. T1 Morgan. Shot blocked. Here come Montenegro. Down the right side. Ball forward to Filip Perovic. Slipped by Crew. Cymru have lost the ball again. It's a recurring theme. I don't know how many times I've said that this afternoon. It is wet out there. It's been raining all day in Newport. The conditions aren't that difficult, really. There seems to be a lot of wind. There are probably a lot of nerves out there. Neither of these sides have ever made it to the finals of the European tournament in this age group. Both wanted to change today. Long crossfield ball beyond. Andre Kamai. Cymru going to make the first change of the afternoon. It's Alfita coming on for Joe Andrews. Alfita of Queen's Park Rangers scored Cymru's goal against Iceland on Saturday. Here he is straight away. Tucky, as he's somewhat predictably known. Crew on to Isaka. Takes a touch and then goes on the charge. Past the full-back, low cross. Finds Morgan. Shot from distance, save. Morgan's there! And how did that not go in? Somehow it remains 2-1. U1 Morgan wasn't offside. Here's the chance again. Morgan laid it off. A shot from distance was saved. Morgan even took a touch. But he couldn't beat Ognjen Milovic in the Montenegro goal. U1 Morgan can't believe it. Oh, what a chance that was. That would have made Cymru's position in this group, in terms of qualification anyway, a little bit less fragile. Deep cross, Morgan again, and he was offside this time. Didn't get the purchase that he wanted on the header. Headed it straight to the ground. That took all the power out of it. It's a good cross. Morgan had the real chance again there, really. Having just spurned that golden opportunity a few seconds ago. But it's Cymru who are applying the pressure. It's been a very positive response by them in the second half through those 2 goals right at the end of the first half. Saka couldn't quite get free that time. Maybe another substitution. Montenegro this time making the change. Tomislav Turovic coming on for Danilo Vukanic. 20 minutes to go. Obviously, a goal here would change everything. A goal over in Leckwith in the game between Scotland and Iceland would definitely change everything. It would then leave Cymru and Montenegro equal on 4 points each. And because of the head-to-head taking precedence, that would then leave Cymru in 3rd place in the group. And there would definitely then not be a trip to Hungary this summer. Montenegro had a free kick there, which they wasted. Lawler. Pass too heavy for Isaka to control. Freddy Xhaka. He's so active, especially during the second half, down this right side. Worked hard defensively as well, as we saw there. Aimless chip forward by Adzic, the Montenegrin goal scorer. It's actually second youngest scorer in the history of the Montenegrin top flight. I mentioned that he scored on his debut last August for Budućnost of Podgorica. Chance for Montenegro here. Marko Perovic, still touch inside, didn't quite work. Isaka. Crew plays the ball across the back. Dan Cox weighing up his options. No real pressure on him. Finds Dylan Lawler. Charlie Crew dropping back to give his defence another option. Slowly but surely, Cymru look to move it forward. Here's Thomas. Oh, Manchester City. And a misunderstanding there. He was expecting a run from Freddy Xhaka, which never came. It's pouring it down in Newport now, as we approach the final quarter of an hour. Another goal for Montenegro here, or in the other game. And we'll be pouring on Cymru's European final dreams as well. So tight now in this group. Charlie Crew. Again, the pass forward. Too heavy for Iwan Morgan. I mentioned that as it stands, Cymru top the group by a goal. Montenegro are in second, also with 4 points. And really, if Montenegro want to make sure that they qualify, they really need to push for another goal here. Finishing second in the group with 4 points. And it really would be touch and go for them. It might not be enough. They could end up as the unlucky runner-up. The one team of the 8 that finish in second place that will not have a place in the finals in Hungary. As I said, we won't know definitively how things will finish until later on today. Louis Giles seeing yellow there. Free kick for Montenegro. Hit into the Cymru penalty area. Margetson. Clearance goes out for a throw-in. The last of the elite qualifying round groups will not finish until tonight. The last group to finish actually features England. They play the Netherlands in Katwijk tonight. That group also includes Denmark and Northern Ireland, who are already eliminated. Isaka on to Perret. Here's the Plymouth Argyle man again, trying to beat his man, couldn't do it. Hadsic tried to bring it down. Conceded possession as he did so. Alfie Tuck. Still chip forward, not strong enough to find Louis Giles. Tuck tracking back but missing his tackle. And here come Montenegro. Hadsic. The ball not reaching him. Huge sigh of relief for Cymru. Iwan Morgan now down at the other side of the pitch. In a hurry to take the throw in. Bounced away from Tuck. Giles lifts the ball back in. Headed across, Perret. Perhaps had a bit too much time to think about it. Here's Thomas trying to thread the eye of a needle. Again, though, Cymru working hard to steal possession back. Isaka's cross across the face of goal. Biancheri falls and wins a free kick. The substitute, Tomislav Turovic, seemingly signalled that he got the ball. Well, he definitely didn't. Wasn't close to it. Not the heaviest of shoves, but it was enough to send Biancheri to the ground. And there's a real opportunity for Cymru here now. Charlie Crew, the captain, to take the kick. 6 men in white waiting in the middle. Here comes the kick. Headed out. Again, Cymru working hard. Here's Thomas doing wonderfully well Isaka pulls it across. Can't find a white shirt. And now Montenegro are away. Down this left flank. Adzic. Losing possession. Margetson. Cymru going a bit more direct now down the middle. Iwan Morgan couldn't find Biancheri. That's a hard challenge by the Montenegrin number 3. Lazar Marash, who's already on a yellow. Calm down, says the referee. Well, there's no card for the foul. I tell you what, Lazar Marash has got away with one there, already on a yellow. It was Filip Perovic who was booked. And something happened off the ball with Alfie Tuck, who's also seen yellow. Double Cymru substitution as well. Gabriele Biancheri has left, Cody Twos on for him. Soy Perret has also departed. George Morgan of Everton on in his place. Here is George Morgan with some space. Chips the ball in. He's Thomas. Still battling. Cymru don't want to depend on the result between Scotland and Iceland. An equaliser here would move Cymru onto 5 points. They actually won their first qualifying round group with 5 points. A win and 2 draws was enough there. Thomas of Llanrwst and Manchester City now. Here he is again, and here's Thomas slipped at the vital moment after Cody Twos had found him. Cody Twos has just come on, little flick through, and as he's Thomas turned and raised his head to look at the goal, his feet gave way under him. It is again. How many times have I said that in the last 20 minutes or so? Cymru move the ball the other way now. Dan Cox of Derby County. Dylan Lawler gives the ball back to Cox. Cox down the middle. Finds George Morgan. On to Iwan Morgan. Isaka now. Chipped cross. Bouncing along the line of the 18-yard box. Lawler signalling to Dan Cox to pass the ball back to Margetson in the goal. Thomas gets the ball back from Twos. Finds George Morgan. Thomas again. Montenegro are looking a bit tired now, a bit weary with 5 minutes to go. Can Wales take advantage of that? Freddie Xhaka cuts inside. Touched by Iwan Morgan. Didn't find George Morgan. Dylan Lawler battled for it. Gets it out to Alfie Tuck. Tuck onto Izaka. Right on the byline. Gets it back to Tuck. Tuck's cross. Loops in, there's a touch! And Cymru have equalised with 5 minutes to go. The looped cross flicked in by, of all people, Dylan Lawler, the defender. What was he doing up there? But the Cardiff City man has scored what could be a huge goal for Cymru. Oh, wonderful. Jumped in. And with a back heel that left Ognjen Milovic totally dumbfounded, totally confused. Cymru have equalised. And that gives Cymru a bit more breathing space at the top. Again, a goal for either side in Leckwith would push Cymru down to second. What a moment for Dylan Lawler. And what a response from Cymru in the second half. They want to be on that plane to Hungary. And now Montenegro's tactics have to change in what little time remains. They made the sub. Pavle Kukuric has come on for Lazar Marash. Midfielder for a defender. And they'll have a free kick here in a dangerous position. The Cymru captain, Charlie Crew, with a foul on his opposite number, the Montenegrin captain, Milos Vracar. A set piece. It's going to be another Montenegrin change before Atsic gets to swing the ball in to the Cymru penalty area. It's Filip Perovic is off. And here, I think it's the big man, indeed it is. The man I mentioned right at the start, 6'4", Montenegro's top scorer, Marko Tadic. Half a shout for the penalty there. It's never going to happen. But Montenegro got the ball back. Tadic with a little touch. And number 9. Big hoof down the field by Kit Margetson. Cymru throw in, slow it down is the call from the bench. 2 Cymru players leave the ball. It's going to be Louis Giles eventually who will take the throw. They're pushing and shoving off the ball. Alfie Tuck involved, he's already been booked. Nothing major. Here's Tomo, steals the ball. Tomo's on the charge. Sliding tackle, dispossesses him. Again, slipping and sliding. The players out there, and Cymru have the ball back. Iwan Morgan cuts inside, looking for support. Goes wide. Louis Giles has to chase the ball to keep it in play. He does that, finds Alfie Tuck. Iwan Morgan again. Couldn't beat his man. Had his head down. Maybe not as aware as he should be of the options beside him. Sees Tomos was kicked there. There's going to be a yellow card for the Montenegrin captain, Milos Vracar. Again, doesn't look as bad, maybe on the replay, but it was something of a wild swipe, a tired swipe by Vracar. It's the 4th Montenegrin to see yellow this afternoon. Alfie Tuck has also been booked for Wales. We're in the last minute of the 90. Cymru pushing for a winner is Saka, who's moved over to the left wing since George Morgan has come on. 3 Montenegrin around him. Takes it to the corner. And then does brilliantly to find Giles. Iwan Morgan now in the penalty area, taking the ball towards the byline. He has to check his run as well. Saka again. Alfie Tuck cuts inside. Patient play by Cymru. Retaining possession. Here's Thomas now. Thomas thought about shooting. Gave the ball to Iwan Morgan. Nearly got totally free. He's kept the ball though. Tuck from distance! Milovic with a save as the ball was curling in. Cymru will have a corner, their 10th of the afternoon. Well, Alfie Tuck scored from distance on Saturday. That was on target. Another cross in, knocked out as far as twos. Cody Twos wins another corner. We're in the 3 minutes of added on time at the end of the 90. A goal now for Cymru would make it safe in terms of qualification. As it stands, Cymru still head the group. That could all change in the little time that remains. Corner headed out, it'll be a Cymru throw on the far side. Have Montenegro given up the ghost. A draw is worthless for them. How quickly things change at the half. Montenegro, as unlikely as it was, were at top of the group. Now they're in second. They still could qualify, remember. Nope, I'm losing myself here. They can't, they've only got 2 points. Took me 92 minutes. Was bound to get it wrong at the end with all the drama and excitement. So yellow card here, is there? No, the referee thought better of it when he realised that Milos Vracha had already seen a yellow. Oh no, actually he showed it to Cody Twos for kicking the ball away. Ball skips through to the thankful arms of Kit Margetson. "20 seconds remain of the 3 extra minutes. Margetson down the ground. Here is Cody Twos. Charlie Crew. Is the time for one last attack? There may well be. Iwan Morgan falls. Oh, he was looking for it. Ball cleared away. Montenegro now looking for one last chance. They're not going to get it. And that is that. It's a 2-all draw from Cymru. There are shouts of delight by some. Others are asking for the score in Cardiff. If that has finished equal as well, Cymru are through as group winners, and we're hearing that the final score in Leckwith is Scotland 0, Iceland 0. Cymru are top the group, and they realise that now. For the first time in history, Cymru will be playing at the finals of the UEFA European Under-17 Championship this summer. A dramatic afternoon in Newport. It's never easy being a Cymru fan, is it? 2-0 for Montenegro at half-time. But the home team battled back. 2 huge second-half goals. The equaliser from an unexpected source. A back heel flick by defender Dylan Lawler. That is the goal that sends Cymru through to the finals. They finish on top of the group with 5 points. Behind them, Scotland will finish in second with 4. 3 draws for Iceland, but they are eliminated. And Montenegro, let's pause for a moment and have a thought for them. At one point this afternoon, as unexpected as it was, Montenegro were on top of the group. But it all changed, and look at the delight. A fantastic afternoon in the rain in Newport. Craig Knight is delighted. Big hugs for his Thomas, who had a fantastic second half. He was everywhere during the second period. What an afternoon for these players. Iwan Morgan, having brought Cymru back into the game, spurned a fantastic chance to equalise. He had his head down for a few seconds after that, for a few minutes. It didn't matter in the end. On a dramatic afternoon in Dragon Park, Cymru have qualified for the UEFA European Under-17 Championship as winners of Group 2. The celebrations will go on here for a while, I'm sure. What a fantastic moment it was when they realised that the other game of the group, that the results in Cardiff had gone their way. Here they come, a big slide in front of the camera. Players have been slipping and sliding all game. Doesn't matter that they're doing that now. And that is that. Cymru are among the 16 teams who play in the finals in Hungary. That tournament starts in May, in the middle of May. Cymru will be there. What a wonderful thing to be able to say. Tonight, the senior men's team will look to take a step towards qualifying for their own European tournament finals. And they face Latvia. And if they can show the same battling spirit as the under-17s did this afternoon, well, they may well get the result they want against Latvia. So the final score from Dragon Park on a historic afternoon for the Cymru under-17 team. Cymru 2, Montenegro 2.